A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. We stop looking for monsters under our beds when we realize that they are inside us. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. I am not the least afraid to die. Intelligence is based on how efficient a species became at doing the things they need to survive. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I for one must be content to remain an agnostic. Blushing is the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. One general law, leading to the advancement of all organic beings, namely, multiply, vary, let the strongest live and the weakest die. The very essence of instinct is that it's followed independently of reason. In the long history of humankind, and animal kind, too, those who learned to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. Besides love and sympathy, animals exhibit other qualities connected with the social instincts which in us would be called moral. Man selects only for his own good, nature only for that of the being which she tends. Nothing is easier than to admit in words the truth of the universal struggle for life, or more difficult, at least I have found it so, than constantly to bear this conclusion in mind. Freedom of thought is best developed through the gradual enlightenment of human thought following the progress of science. We are not here concerned with hopes or fears, only with truth as far as our reason permits us to discover it. Love for all living creatures is the noblest human quality. Natural selection ensures that always the strongest or best adapted survive. No speculation, no new observations. Time is the most important ingredient in the recipe of life. Never be friends with someone you can't respect. Certainty is more the birth of ignorance than of knowledge. A fair result can only be obtained fully by stating and balancing the facts and arguments on both sides of every question. Anything that goes against nature will not last. We know for certain that species go extinct and others replace them. There is a constant tendency of all animate life to reproduce to the point where the available food is insufficient.